Right now at 6 o'clock, a debate pitting neighbors against short-term rental owners. Houston city leaders are getting closer to finalizing the city's short-term rental ordinance after months of complaints about loud parties and bad guests.
Yeah, the city of Houston estimates there are over 8,500 short-term rental houses in the city. Of those listed, HPD officers were called to those locations over 2,700 times between November of last year and last month. A little over 18% of those calls involved a life-threatening situation.
KPRC 2's Bryce Newberry live at City Hall this evening with a debate from landlords and short-term rental hosts who say the proposed ordinance would not address all of those problems. Bryce?
Yeah, Daniela and Keith, neighbors have been really vocal about some of these loud, disruptive parties and guests at these short-term rental properties across Houston. The City Council now looking to regulate these properties as early as next year. And the chairman of the city's Quality of Life Committee made it clear today that something has to be done to address these issues. So the whole goal would be to target bad actors and crack down on illegal activity at these properties, according to city leaders. They heard from the community about this proposed ordinance throughout the afternoon today, which would require short-term rental hosts to pay to register with the city, get a $1 million liability insurance policy, and respond to emergencies, including noise complaints, within an hour, just an hour. And violating this ordinance could result in daily fines for property owners or operators. The whole aim, according to city leaders, is not to completely wipe out short-term rentals, but warning, not everyone will be happy with how this turns out. We heard from some hosts who call this proposed policy burdensome, some who worry that it could also impact the money they rely on.
This is proposing onerous requirements that will be difficult for a lot of hosts to comply with, and it also makes us responsible for the criminal activity or potential criminal activity of guests. There are things in the ordinance that are vague. There are requirements that the city is imposing that they're not adequately educated on, and there are things about the ordinance that we just simply cannot comply with, and there are a lot of loopholes.
So many of the hosts that we heard from today say that they are good actors, and some of the issues that neighbors are concerned about are already illegal. So the issue, they say, is enforcement. But neighbors we heard from say that they are just fed up with these short-term rental properties near them.
So the first thing I dealt with was 20 bullets hitting my house, 6 penetrating my walls, causing $7,000 worth of damage. I will say Airbnb was very gracious and worked with me there, and that property is permanently banned, and it has been on best behavior, but I've had somebody vomit in my driveway. A host denied it. I had to clean it up myself. I've had loud parties, fights, outside, like 8 to 10 people outside fighting, screaming, waking us up.
So there are really some strong and competing interests on both sides of this issue. The city does have a draft ordinance right now, but they are still accepting feedback on it before the whole city council is expected to vote early next year, possibly by the end of January, on a short-term rental ordinance for the entire city of Houston. We're live downtown. I'm Bryce Newberry, KPRC 2 News.
All right.